Hello everyone, hope y'all are having a good day. It is August 10th and today I'm back with our video course. Today I'm going to be talking about, sorry, today I'm going to be talking about ongoing severe weather and I'm going to be talking about the tropics. Tropics are starting to heat up a bit and they're going to be getting kind of active over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be talking about that. But let's get started with the video. So first of all, sorry I haven't been uploading in a while. I've been very busy with homework and cross country, but I'm trying to find some time to do this. It's kind of hard though. It was the first couple of days of school, so I didn't really have much time. But now I'm starting to have a bit more time, so it's a bit easier. Um, so let's talk about weather now. So we have an enhanced risk tonight across areas of southeastern Wisconsin and northeastern Illinois. Chicago is in that. So is Milwaukee. Let's take a look at the ongoing radar. So, very active, very strong line of storms that goes all the way up to around Green Bay. Is still severe warned. We have a lot of wind reports with this. It's now moved into Lake Michigan, but the severe warning still remains. There's some rain behind it as well. Thunderstorm wind gusts right here, 52 miles per hour. 50s, so pretty good. An outline has moved in Lake Michigan, and will begin weakening. We can see the SPC has a slight risk out for Michigan though, so they are expecting a decent severe threat for areas like Grand Rapids, even out into Lansing, Kalamazoo. Right now, the strongest storms that are still on land are right through the Chicago area. Downtown Chicago is getting hammered right now with a lot of heavy rain, lightning, and damaging winds. And this line extends down to around close to Pontiac. We can see we do have an outflow boundary right there. There's some storms trying to go off by Peoria. Looks to be could be influenced by an outflow boundary as well. Let's switch down to the Lincoln radar and see what's going on down here. My GR2 froze. That's nice. Okay, there we go. Looks like we had a lot of lightning by Galesburg. This is really the east of Galesburg. Well, let's see here. So, we had a 60 wind report in Chicago. That's pretty good. I know. Let's get this loaded. All right, there we go. So we can see we have an outflow boundary that looks to be about right here. Could be maybe influencing these storms a bit here. Some kind of boundary right there for sure. Storms going up right to the north of Peoria and kind of right on Peoria. Some hail, maybe with these small hail. It would be very small as of right now. Damaging winds are really not damaging yet. Gusty winds and gusty winds and small hail are the main concern with these. These don't really look super cellular at all. Nothing really right now looks tornadic. It's mainly just damaging wind. As of right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and get out of GR2 there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the day 2 outlook. We have a slight risk once again. For this is Wednesday, tomorrow, of course. Have a slight risk that goes from eastern Iowa up into even areas of northern and eastern Michigan. 2% tour risk, 15% wind, and a 15% hail. Let me get the college to do page here, so we can actually look at the models for tomorrow a bit. Take a look at the HRRR. Okay, let's use this sector. I don't think that this is going to go out far enough, but this is the latest run, and wow, we can see that line maybe making it into western Michigan with some gusty winds still. Kalamazoo could maybe get some gusty winds, maybe Grand Rapids. Yeah, that's right, okay. And then HRRR has Peoria areas to the east of Peoria, Champaign getting hammered overnight tonight, though, with lots of rain and storms, and even another round as we go into this is 15Z tomorrow morning. This is morning, pretty much mid-morning, 9-10 a.m. You can see still heavy storms up to the north of Peoria, even right really close to Peoria. Uh, maybe some flooding concerns with the HRRRs right now. This is just forecasted reflectivity. It's not always going to be 100% correct. But if the HRRR is correct about this, we could be seeing some pretty significant rainfall totals across, or localized significant rainfall totals across areas of central Illinois tonight into tomorrow morning. Even indicates some strong storms up in Wisconsin. We got a boundary right here, pretty nice boundary as well at 15Z. You can see right here. Take a look at dews real quick. And dews, really nice though. Have a little bit of cool or cold pooling going on here in Wisconsin, Illinois, but around that we have dews 70s, maybe even getting close up to around closer to 80 in some areas in Kansas, maybe southwest Iowa. And it's going to feel some storms. You can see we have a marginal risk down into that area. But we have more support further to the north up in areas like Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin. We can see as we go into, we can see we have that kind of complex of storms that moves east. Some significant cold pooling with that. Now, let's see how that affects the atmosphere in the afternoon, because that could limit development of storms in the afternoon across areas of central Indiana, western Ohio. We'll have to see about that in tomorrow's video. But definitely will ruin the environment for a couple of hours. If the sun comes back out, it could easily get back to where it was. But yeah, then even as we get into 16Z, this is around 11 a.m. Even areas like Kalamazoo, really having some cold pooling. You can see, looking at the temperatures real quick. Not too much of a significant difference. We can see 80s, 90s in most areas, even in 70s across Illinois and Indiana, or eastern Illinois and areas of western Indiana. Our front's right here. So in front of that's where we're going to expect severe weather, of course. Looks like the best potential is going to be in this region now. Let's go back to an older run. Let's go back to the 18Z. This is a bit ago. This is a little bit of an older run. But it'd still be helpful. We can see maybe even temperatures approaching. They're getting into the 100s in Kansas tomorrow. But let's take a look at simulated reflectivity off the 18Z HRRR. Indicates those maybe some intense storms around the Peoria area. If this happens tomorrow afternoon, which I'm not sure about that, but that would be a significant storm most likely. The HRRR, that's definitely a supercell according to the HRRR. But the chances of that happening are slim. But I don't think we're going to get the atmosphere to recover that quickly. HRRR kind of has it going off of the dying line of storms and just kind of strengthening. And it kills itself right before Indianapolis. And then we have a new line of storms that comes right down in the Peoria area again, maybe bringing more rain. Being honest, I kind of think there's a pretty significant flooding concern across this area tomorrow. Localized flooding. I don't think we're going to see anything too widespread, but it's definitely a bit of a problem. And even maybe further to north, but look at all that heavy rain over the same area. Let's take a look at total precip accumulation, and wow, it indicates pockets of pretty significant rainfall. So I definitely think that localized flooding is going to be a problem across areas of central or east central Illinois, pretty much Peoria into areas of western Indiana. So yeah, that's tomorrow's severe weather threat. We're really not going to talk about day 3 too much. We just have a large marginal risk with the same storm system, same cold front that goes from Kansas up into the northeast. And then on day 4, we actually have an event potentially. We have a 15% risk from eastern Illinois up into areas of New York. So let's take a look at that off the GFS here. This is not going to be the best. The GFS isn't the best model to really look at, but it'll work. So Friday, that's day 4. Friday, August 13th. And our front looks to be somewhere about right here. See, baby, GFS indicates maybe some convection in front of that. We're not really going to pay attention to that too much. We just want to look at what we actually have going on, not just reflectivity. So ML Cape, we have around a good 1,000 to 2,000, maybe approaching 3,000 in some areas. I wouldn't be surprised. Now keep in mind, that's not the GFS. So what we actually get could be a bit higher than this. I think on day 4, we're going to have a good shot at 2 to 3,000 Cape going up from Indiana into areas of upstate New York, or really not upstate, but western New York, and into the upstate. Maybe I do think some areas could exceed 3,000. Um, and anything else? Mid-level lapses. That'll be kind of helpful. Lapses are quite marginal. Some areas. I mean, these lapses aren't going to favor any. I mean, these lapses aren't steep. They're not going to favor giant hail, but a little bit of a hail threat potentially in some areas. Kind of just normal though. So yeah, now let's take a look at the tropics. The tropics are getting more active. Uh, right now in the Atlantic, we have 2 areas to watch. We have disturbance number 1. This is just a disturbance right now. Around a 30% chance of in the next 5 days of this actually forming into something. This is still way out here. Way out in the Atlantic. This is a bit of a problem here. Potential tropical cyclone 6. 90% chance of forming within the next 5 days. And it's pretty much right next to Puerto Rico. Let's go ahead and look at this. Wind speed probabilities. It's not going to be too accurate yet, but this is the cone as of right now. So right now, the National Hurricane Center thinks it'll be a storm. Once it hits the Dominican Republic, it'll get influenced by the land and turn into a depression for a bit, but then it'll likely re-strengthen into a tropical storm. Now, this is not, we don't know, or this may not, it's not going to happen exactly like this. I do think at some point maybe we could get a hurricane. It depends. Let's go ahead and go over to tropical tidbits for us. This is what it looks like on a satellite right now. Let's just get this loaded. Gonna take a while, sorry. Okay, this is definitely gonna take a while. I don't know why. Alright, there we go. So, looks like the center of it. Let me play a few scans here. Really have some convection blowing up. Center of it's about right there. We have a lot of convection blowing up on the west side of this. We can see right here. Low's about right here at the latest scan. We have a lot of convection blowing up on the west side. That's pretty much it. Not too organized. I mean, it's kind of good. We have convection blowing up right next to the center. We'll see what that does. Most of it's kind of died though. Outer bands affecting areas of Puerto Rico. Pretty nice. Nothing really significant though yet. Now let's go back out of here though, or out of here now. This is gonna take a while for some reason. Don't know if it's my computer or just tropical tidbits. That's just a cone. This is some global and hurricane models here. And this is pretty new runs here. Low is right to the south of Puerto Rico. Pretty high confidence it's going to go right to the north of Cuba. Pretty high confidence of that. Then as we get towards west, as this moves to the south of Florida, a few hurricane models have it impacting Florida with a landfall. Most of them going right to the west of Florida. Kind of the average is kind of right here. Then it has it making landfall in the panhandle of Florida. Now, all these solutions, Florida is going to see impacts. But how bad those impacts are, it's hard to tell as of right now. But this does look interesting. And yeah, so now let's take a look at GFS ensembles. GFS ensembles have it going a little bit further to the west in the hurricane models. Maybe tracking kind of, but still making landfall in the Florida Panhandle. I think that's a good bet that we're going to see a landfall in the Florida Panhandle. But the GFS ensembles are kind of weird, though. We can see, looking at this pressure area, it's pretty certain with the GEFS tracks here, or with the GEFS, sorry. that we're not going to really see too much of a strong storm until this gets into the Gulf. Now, once this gets into the Gulf, I really think it could strengthen, maybe into a Category 1. Well, I'm uncertain about that. Keep in mind, uh, few of the GFS ensembles, I'm just going to call it that, have it going to the east of Florida. We'll have to see. I don't think this is likely, but it's definitely not out of the question that maybe this could track to the east of Florida. I think the best bet is that it's going to go right to the north of Cuba, slide right to the south of Florida, and go to the west of the peninsula, east side of the Gulf, and make landfall in the Florida Panhandle. I think that's the best. That's the most likely situation as of right now, just judging from the models. Now, this could change, though. Now, let's go over to the GEPS tracks. And this is much different, actually. We can see not going way to the north of Cuba, impacting, still kind of going to the west of Florida, not going to the east. I mean, a few of the tracks have it going to the east of Florida and kind of just impacting South Carolina, Georgia with a landfall. A few of them having just going out to sea. But then we can see the average just takes it right through central Florida, and then up into Georgia. And we can see it as it getting down to around 1,006 millibars at the average, or 1,001 actually, once it moves into Georgia. Now keep in mind, a few of these models does have it being stronger. Maybe even getting down to below 1,000 millibars, which would maybe mean a weak hurricane. We'll have to see. So yeah, now let's take a look at the latest GFS here and see what it has for the U.S. So, oh yeah, I just cleared my history. That's why it's doing that. But let me zoom in on the east here, just the eastern U.S. and let's see. So Thursday we can see it looks like it's right down there. It's hard to tell. We can see, here we go. GFS has it making landfall right around Miami Saturday evening as a tropical storm, and then maybe strengthening a bit more once it moves into kind of back into the Gulf for a bit. Maybe a little bit more strengthening once there, and then it moves into the southeast, bringing some rain. Now with this solution, this is definitely maybe bringing some flooding concerns, tornado concerns, and I mean, not too much wind concerns. Doesn't look like this is going to be. It doesn't look like we're going to have too much wind if the GFS happens. But GFS does interest me, though. It does not have it going to the west of Florida. It has it pretty much making landfall right over Miami, with the heaviest of the rain going through areas of the Keys and Miami, then eventually Orlando. Then a lot more rain for areas like Macon, Georgia, Augusta, Columbia, South Carolina. It kind of stalls over the southeast for a bit until it eventually kind of gets pushed away. Then I think that's our disturbance that we have in the middle of the Atlantic right now at around Saturday, August 21st. Very far out, though, like a week and a half. Maybe somewhere close to the U.S. We'll have to see about that. So what potential tropical cyclone 6 does is kind of uncertain. I do think the best bet right now is that it takes a track similar to this or this. I think that's kind of what could happen right now. Maybe I kind of have to draw something different. Feeling this, or maybe kind of like this. A landfall for South Florida is not out of the question. That's definitely a good possibility. Right now, the best bet is the Florida Panhandle. But South Florida, maybe even Central Florida, not out of the question. We'll have to see in tomorrow's video. But yeah, that'll wrap up the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. But yes, goodbye.